All right, so you guys see the intro of the video. Today we're talking about Yellowstone 1923, season 2, the final season. This show's only getting 2 seasons. So I got Emily, the Iron Lady, with me. And
Hello.
there we go. We're going to be discussing the trailer and just our overall thoughts, possible, I guess you could say, theories, and maybe what we hope to see happen. And so we'll just go from there. So scale to, I guess you could say 1 to 5, 0 to 5. Like, as far as the feeling, like, hey, I'm looking forward to this. How would you rate the trailer? Like, were you like, yeah, finally, or was it like, oh, it's back?
No, I definitely feel this is a 4, maybe
Okay.
a 4.5. They obviously packed a ton of action into the trailer, which I feel like we were just really getting into at the end of the first season. I know you and I are both a little worried that they may spend too much time with his journey back to the, to get to the ranch, and we've only got 8 precious episodes to work in, and so I want to make sure that like we don't burn any time with things that aren't necessary, like we cut all the fat off the meat. So anyway, but I am excited from what I saw. So
yeah, I thought it was a good trailer, had enough action in it. Great title. I think the title of it was Defend or Die. I mean, it looked like they were up against it because they have a formidable adversary in Whitfield as a villain. He has showed in the previous season, and he's building his army. And of course, like any Yellowstone season, it's a land dispute, and somebody's coming in trying to make some kind of resort or rich people's playground or whatever. And so we have it. It's weird that happened, in 1923, but technically it's history repeating itself because we've seen it in the more modern show. So like I said, I think the Duttons are going to be up against it, and I think that's when they're their best, whenever their backs against the wall, because not only are you dealing with Whitfield and Banner, the guy Jerome Flynn, who played Bronn in Game of Thrones, if you didn't know, he's looking to take them out. And also Aunt Cara speaks in the trailer about this is a brutal winter. So they're also dealing with the
environmental. Mm-hmm.
And they have the environmental threat, because no matter what's going on, you still got it's a ranch. The ranch is still got, the business has to keep running. So, that's a problem in itself. You mentioned earlier, I mean, we might as well just get to it. We talked about Spencer. Now they're really hyping him up. They were hyping him up last year. Yeah. They were hyping him up last season, and we didn't, we kind of saw, he's a man of action. He's very capable, but this season he's really going to have to prove himself. And the only question is, we have 8 episodes. How long do you think it's going to take before he gets there? How long do you think they're going to drag out you say 2 that I think we're on the same page. I was going to say, I say 3 tops.
Okay, 3 tops. Fair.
Because I think what's going to happen is, we saw clips in the trailer where basically they're manning down the forts, circling the wagons, and it looks like they're being attacked. And I think they're going to get attacked, and he's going to show up as the aftermath of that. Because I think he's going to show. I think he's going to show up after all that. And,
so you don't think he's going to swoop in and like save the day in the nick of time? You think he's going to come in and see like the destruction and then like just go haywire?
Yeah, I think they're going to get hit at the beginning, like they're going to get attacked, and he's going to show up after that.
Okay.
Before the final showdown, when they take everybody out, I think they're gonna get another setback, and they're gonna get attacked, and he's gonna show up after. Because I mean, if you look in the trailer, they got him in a fight club and stuff like.
They got him in everything. Yeah, he's like, you're exactly right. And then he's like suited up, or like in a later part of the trailer. I mean, Do you think that maybe after season one came out and they realized that maybe he was going to be like star quality, do you think they kind of shifted the focus? Because I seriously felt like the entire trailer was just about him, and I feel like we saw like Tiana. I mean, for like 3 seconds, right? If even that, and it was just like boom, gone. But it's like I feel like maybe just because of the attention he's getting in the real world, that they're like, oh, well, he's going to be our he's going to be our focus
Well,
now. He's our power guy.
I think that might have something to do with it, but I also just think the character was just an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they built him up that way, and like I said, Jack, they really didn't do a whole lot with
Yeah.
Jack. Because if you think of Montana, there really wasn't a whole lot to lean on in Montana. I mean, you have Aunt Cara and Jacob, but like I said,
Right.
you would think Jack would have a larger role since his dad died, but he's still young, and he's not ready yet for that battle that's to come. That's why they needed Spencer to come, because
Yeah.
Jack wouldn't have been ready. Jacob's too old,
Yeah.
Jack's too green.
Well, and
So
Jacob's like, I mean, the fact that he's been walking is like a miracle, right? I
yeah,
mean, they're hurting for muscle
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, and the 1920s, and I think he's 80 years old. That might as well be 200 years old. But I think, like I said, Spencer's in his prime. Like if you
Yeah.
look at like battle prime, life prime, he's in the prime of his life. Where Jacob's at the twilight and Jack is a greenhorn. He's
Yeah.
he hasn't been through anything to to be ready for this.
Yeah.
He's eager, like a lot of young guys would be. They're eager to run into the fray, but they've never experienced it, and they don't know like to
Yeah.
be ready. Like they're being young. You just fly in. You leap first.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think, like I said, yeah, I think they built up on. I mean, they're treating this guy like he's John Wick. He's gonna
I
come
know.
in. It's just, and he's gonna have to live up to that, because
Yeah.
and we get hints of it in the trailer that he does, because there's a part in the trailer where Banner says something like, he scares me, and he sent some men after him and he killed them all.
Yeah.
So I think the word gets out about Spencer. I think when he gets to town, they know about him, and they send some people after him, and he takes them out. And so I want to kind of pivot, since I said that, about the character Banner. Now I have a kind of a theory
Okay. Because you
about what's
like
gonna.
this guy, don't you? Like you kind of like this guy just because he brings over the Game of Thrones era.
Well,
Like,
I think he's a pretty good actor. But my theory is I think, because in the trailer there's a part where like Whitfield's like, hey, you promised me an army,
mm-hmm.
and he looks very like shaken, like, and I think what's gonna happen, because there's a scene with Banner and Jacob briefly talking. I think he's gonna realize, I don't like this Faustian deal I made with this guy, and if I don't come through, he's gonna kill me. So maybe I can go and make a deal with the Duttons, and he can like be a Judas to him and betray Whitfield. Kind of make peace or make some kind of arrangement with the Duttons. Like, hey, he's the bigger threat. I had a disagreement about some sheep and your cattle. We can work that out. But this guy wants to take you completely out. I ran to him. I was desperate, not fully understanding the gravity of the situation. Help me out and I'll help you. What do you
Right.
think? What say you? What do you think?
I like where you're going with that. I think that's definitely a possibility. My thought was, I mean, I didn't even think about that as an option, because I figured he was just going to be a sacrifice. Like I felt like he was ultimately going to disappoint Whitfield, and Whitfield was just going to, in some very dramatic fashion, like execute him. So I like where you're going though.
Because I just don't see how they can win, because it looks like Whitfield, he has the resources. He probably has more manpower. The sheriff appears to be afraid. He keeps trying to, you see in the trailer, him and Jacob going at it again. It's like, oh, I don't want to cause a war. It's like, it is a war. We're in a war.
Right.
So I think they're going to have to do they're going to have to outthink them and do some maneuvers, pull some art of war style tactics, make them think
Mhm.
you're weak when you're strong, or whatever,
Yeah.
and take them out that way. Because I don't think they can match them full on, and just going army to army, toe to toe, men to men. I just don't think they can do that.
Yeah.
Because I think right now I'm looking at the Duttons. It's the Dutton characters I name. Hell, they're so low on men. They have Elizabeth, Jack's wife, with a
Yeah.
gun fighting, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you have Zane,
Yeah.
and he has every reason to want to take them out because they're responsible for his wife being taken. So it's just like them handful of people versus
Yeah.
Whitfield and all of his resources. So I can see them doing some backdoor deals to take him out, and then who knows? They may be ruthless, and after the deal's done, take Banner out as well.
Maybe. But you're right,
And
it's
so,
definitely gonna have to be a cerebral approach, right? Because
yeah,
that's how
yeah.
Whitfield got them in the first place. It wasn't like what was done out in the yard with the shooting. It was what was done in the courthouse with the bank books. So, yeah.
So you briefly mentioned Tiana's storyline. Do you
Yeah.
even care? Like I kind of forgot all about her. You know.
They don't give it enough focus. Like I think it's critical for the Yellowstone universe,
Mhm.
obviously, because she represents the group that ends up with the ranch.
And she's a
But
descendant. She's a
yeah, but
descendant of Rainwater. So
right, exactly. But and I think I had mentioned that before, on a previous episode that we did, is that I thought she would team up with them. I thought that maybe she would go there to seek refuge and like end up being part of their clan somehow. And maybe that's where, they started. Where these two
mm.
families started. I would like to see that. I do care I mean, I care, but they're not giving enough focus. They're not making it what it needs to be to care enough about it, if that makes sense. Like they're not
well,
giving us enough to like keep us
Well, I
interested.
think I honestly think they shouldn't even had the character if they were only going to do 2 seasons because
Yeah.
you don't have enough time to flesh out that character. I
Yeah.
mean, you're kind of doing a disservice to the character that way. So I think it's one of those they're trying to do too much, trying to make sure you have enough um tethers to the
Yeah.
other Yellowstone show.
Yeah.
And so the thing that also is like a double-edged sword watching this show that really pisses me off about the later show is you see once again, you see why John Dutton he wanted to keep that land so much because he probably heard stories about what's going to happen like because we
Mhm.
know they win, but
Right.
with the win there's going to be some cost, and we'll talk about that, maybe give some death predictions or whatever here in a minute. But I get so angry now, like when I watch this, because I know you're gonna see what they all go through, and then we
Right.
know what happens at
We
the
already know the
end.
ending. We
Yeah,
know
like
the ending.
they don't get to keep the like, and
Right.
the newer generation, Beth and Casey, and they didn't even really care like that,
Yeah.
and it makes you have more. To me, it makes me have more of appreciation for the John Dutton character because he understood like
Yeah.
what my family went through, and I guess it could be a knock on him not preaching that to his kids, like this land, like what
Right.
they had to go through, the ones before us, to keep this land. And
Yeah.
we're witnessing it right now. Like I've said it since the show started. Jacob Dutton is probably the most important Dutton because he's going to be the one that keeps, because it looks like this is the worst they've had it.
Yeah.
They could have lost it right then and there. And it looks like I said, if it wasn't for Jacob
Yeah.
moving up there to take care of his brother's kids, who knows what would have happened?
Right.
We wouldn't have what we have today, So it
Yeah.
definitely makes me feel a certain way looking at
The
the
history of it.
updated, the updated version of it. It really does. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and let's slide into, because I don't think anybody. I think we're gonna lose some people. Uh,
I mean, we
do you
have
have?
to.
Yeah. Do you have a death prediction or two at a? Because I'm sure we're gonna lose a Dutton or two.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Um, we'll definitely lose Jacob.
okay.
Um, Jack, now remind me, Jack is the one who then is actually John Dutton's grandpa, right?
No, we don't know. We
We don't.
don't
We still
know.
don't know that. We still don't know
No,
who. Okay.
we'll find out.
Okay.
We'll
Well, so
find
then,
out. Because
and
I think I actually think Spencer is his grandfather. Is going to be the grandfather,
okay.
not
Okay.
Jack.
Well, and
I
I mean, well, and in fairness too, just because they're the grandfather doesn't mean they don't die in this
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
Like,
I can see him. I think Alexandria, which we haven't spoken about her. I think she's
mhm.
pregnant.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
she's
point.
I think she's already pregnant, and
It,
so when she gets there, they're gonna find out.
I
What?
think Spencer will go,
Okay, you think Spencer will be taken out?
as well as
Okay.
Jacob. And like to your point, Alexander could be pregnant, and that could be the lineage that carries on. And yeah, but
But then,
I oh, go ahead.
something makes me think Jack is the grandfather
I always thought
because
Jack was.
there's a episode where he's, I think it's in season 5, he's mad, the part 1, he's really mad at Jamie or something. He's like, I need something to break, and he goes to grab that whiskey to break it, and
Yeah.
Beth stops him and says, that's your grandfather's whiskey. That would mean Spencer probably would have to survive for them to know that Spencer's whiskey.
Right.
Or so I go back and forth on this. There's a piece of me that's like, I just think personality wise, I think Spencer fits more of like
The alpha
John Dutton
male.
and Casey. Like, not to say Jack can't grow up and be that. He's from the same lineage, but
Yeah.
man, I don't know. It's tough. It's really
Mhm.
tough. I go back and forth. Like when the show first started, I was dead set that um Jack, that's his grandfather right there. That's
Mhm.
Jack. He's named after his great great grandfather. But then I'm like, hey, I can see Spencer naming his son after his brother, his older brother.
Yeah.
So um shit. Maybe I'll
I
change my mind again. I don't know. Man. I don't know. I don't know.
I
God, man.
know.
Either way, you
And I
think
think
Spencer's out of here.
I think Spencer's going to go because it's going to be poetic and beautiful and all the wonderful things, like, and Jacob for sure. And I think we're going to lose one of the girls. I don't know which one, but I think we'll lose a girl.
I can see, because here's the thing. So I've heard them say that like they think like Elizabeth because she lost a kid, right?
Did she lose it?
Yeah, I think her and Jack they lost their
Oh,
kid.
that's right. Okay,
So
yeah.
some people are thinking their storyline might be similar to Kara and Jacob, where they don't have kids. But
Yeah.
then at the same time, when you go to that grave site, there are other Duttons in there.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking maybe Elizabeth dies and Jack down the years gets married to another woman and has kids. But I
Maybe.
had her, she's on my to go list.
Okay.
I think she might be a casualty when I said they're going to have a battle at the beginning of the season
Yeah.
before Spencer gets there, and they got her with a gun out there. I think she might be a casualty to go. I'm definitely thinking Jacob. It's like, I mean, we're kind of on the same page because I thought for sure. I think Jacob's number 1 on my list. I could see Aunt Cara being like surviving
Me
to
too.
she passes away naturally. Because I think of that tagline she said, you like all the things, the sacrifice. Like I think
All the
she
things that are
may,
worth fighting for.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be the one that that survives because that's gonna be like her sacrifice. Like she loses her husband.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think we got the same.
Well, and
I think
here's what
we're
I'll say on this too.
three
I
for three
think
on those.
Oh yeah, like I don't think we'll lose an entire couple. We'll lose one or the other, right? So if we lose Spencer, we won't lose Alex. If we lose
Mhm.
Elizabeth, we won't lose Jack. Like I don't think we're going to lose an entire couple. I think we're going to just lose one of, one here, one there. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my head. I'm going back and forth. Like I'm
I
like
know.
I think Jack may be the because I don't like I don't know if Spencer and John had a tight relationship I can see Jack like his dad dying, and oh
Yeah,
man, let's just keep going back to man.
I
We
always
gonna
thought it was Jack.
but I think it's going to be revealed. It's going to be revealed, and that's what I'm saying. Like if Elizabeth dies, it's definitely Spencer because, like I said, I can see Alexandria showing up pregnant. You know,
Hmm.
because we see her in the trailer once again being uh, damsel in distress
Oh
being
yeah,
grabbed up. I wonder what that's all about. But you know, I guess pretty woman back in those times traveling alone.
should have jumped
You
off that
know,
boat.
but I think what that probably is because
Hmm.
you know she comes from an aristocratic
Oh
family.
yeah,
They probably sent people after her to bring her home because she has disgraced the family with
right.
running off with that yank back
Yeah,
to back to America. So I bet that's what that is. Like I don't think she's being like, you know, graped, but I
right,
think that
right.
like they probably because of her family's from, they probably sent somebody to bring her back
Think she's
home or
lost her
whatever.
mind. Yeah,
Yeah, for the disgrace that you know, she did to the family. So,
yeah,
but yeah, like I said, I think this is the one I was you know, looking forward to. Like I said, I like the villain they had, like a
yes,
villain with the face. I think
yep,
that's what we lost in Yellowstone in the later seasons. Like they did this whole corporate like
yeah.
conglomerate. Like I liked the early seasons where we had these guys.
The worthy
These are the
adversary. Yeah.
yeah, these are the villains right here.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I like I said, looking forward to it. Be here in what 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm
It
so
should be
excited.
here.
Did you
It'll be.
give us your rating on the trailer? I just like
Oh
hello.
no,
I blanked. I
I
don't think
got
you did.
I gave it I gave it a 4. I kind of forgot all about it because it just been so long. But like I said, the trailer was good. Like you
Yeah.
know, it kept me. It showed just enough action, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can't wait. You know, the
Yeah.
anticipation's there. And I think they're going to do a good job with this. I think this one will have a satisfying conclusion. You
I
know,
agree.
can't say the same about the other show. I mean, I think a lot of people were really let down and disappointed with that because that just rushed ending. You know, it is what it is. But I think this one, because they knew, hey, we're only going 2 seasons. So they had a path and they knew where they were going to go. And all they needed to do is execute. And I think they're going to do it. I think
I
they're going to
think
do a
you're
good job
right.
with that.
I
So,
think you're right. I think this is going to
yeah.
pattern off of 1883 because they knew they were only going to have one season, and I thought every episode that was incredible. And I think that this will be the same way that we only have 8 episodes. There's a lot of story to tell, and I think they're going to land it. So here's for hoping.
Yeah, that's open. All right, so yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up because I have my 7-year-old upstairs holding down the fort with her brothers, and so
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't hear a lot of yelling and stuff. So that could be a good or bad. I don't know. Like you know,
Well, we've
it's super quiet. So I'm like, and then I got you know we got two family cats and they want to get out
you
and
guys have cats.
yeah, the kids they got to choose what kind of pets they wanted, and they wanted dogs and cats. And then we're like, well, which one do you
Cats are
really want?
easier.
Yeah, which one do you really want first? And they said they wanted cats. So my one of my brother-in-law, they live out in the country or whatever, so they have a bunch of barn cats, and we just waited for you know to give birth and let them get strong and bigger, and then we took them in. So yeah, uh, one of them's name is Sally, and I can't think of the other one's name right now. But yeah, we
This
got.
is
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
That's
okay.
Jack. I mean, we have we have a ton of animals. We have 5 cats, and I've got our pig. She just went to bed, and so I was so happy
Oh,
that she hasn't been yelling. So yeah,
oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, we got just the two cats. I can't think of the other cat's name, but Sally was the first one we got. Yeah, Sally was the first one we got. And well, I don't have an I just say get down, stupid cat. That's all because they like jump on. That's all I could call them all the time. So
oh,
they
funny.
always say get down, stupid cat. So
Yeah,
so yeah, but yeah, yeah, the kids love them. They will be trying to sleep with them and carry them
yeah.
around all everywhere. And sometimes I'm like, hey, you gotta let them let them walk around. They're not your personal babies. So
Oh, that makes me
yeah.
so happy to hear that.
Yeah, so
So,
yeah, they love the cat. So yeah, we'll probably get a dog here in a couple years or whatever. So
okay.
we'll see.
Yay.
But yeah, thanks for coming on, and will we get ready? I'm trying to see if my friend try to get Megan on as well to do it. Get the schedules lined up so maybe we can,
Yeah,
particularly for that first episode, we'll have some more people on. So
it'll be amazing.
yeah, so all right. So once again, thanks for coming on. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up,
Thanks, Pete.
Emily. Can't
Have a
wait.
good one.
We'll yeah, we'll get together for the first episode.
Sounds good.